morning, everyone. I'm again your teacher for today, teacher Shelly, for our week 19, day 1. And I hope everyone is ready to have a discussion or a lesson for today. And for for the week, we will have again the different types of vessels. And I hope everyone had a great time last weekend with your family, with your friends, and with your loved ones. All right. And those for all those who are on board the vessel, I hope you had also time to review our previous lesson. All right. And so, uh, since today is Monday, it's again the start of the week, so we'll have our lesson. Again, as a continuation of our uh, different types of vessels. Alright, and I will just have a short review with regards to our subject. Okay, so last Monday, it's all about, no, last week 17th, it was all about the bulk carrier, right? And also about oil tanker. Those are all examples about different types of vessels. And so, just a short review about bulk carrier, wherein it is a specialized type of merchant ship, right? Do you still remember about the bulk carrier that it was or it is designed to transport, okay, unpacked dry bulk cargo, right? Like grain. Do you remember that about the cargo of gold, ore, steel oil, and cement also, and also fertilizers, right? And I also mentioned that it is a worldwide commodity transport network, moving raw materials from one port to another or from one country to another to support, all right, many aspects of our life, all right? And also, we discussed about oil tanker, right? And known as a petroleum tanker also. This one is also a specialized type of carrier, no? And it also transports raw materials like the bulk carrier. And it's also gives a crucial or important role in the entire world course. Okay. So for now, for today, we will discuss about the third type of vessel, which is a container vessel. Okay. So what is a container vessel, by the way? Oh, before I forget, standardized metal boxes. This one, of course, everyone knows it or has seen this type of thing. This is what we call containers. Okay, this one, this metal type. These are these are container vessels. No, sorry, container material. Okay, container type. Okay, so um, this one, this metal, standardized metal boxes are of the same sizes. Basically, is to have a smooth or to have an easy or to have a safe, okay, a safe cargo inside. So also, this is this carries or this type of containers transport or carries around it says 80%, okay, of the world manufactured goods. Okay, now these goods are transported, right, uh, through continents or countries. Okay, from here to here, alright, and then also from port to port, alright. So it's easier if it is uh if it is carried through a container type. Okay, alright. So why standardized container? Why is it all the same? Why is it why do they have the same sizes? Alright. So these containers are basically in uniform. They have the same size because it's very important for loading. Alright, for loading and unloading purposes. And of course, remember that it's for the safety of the cargo inside. Okay, that's the reason why they are all the same sizes. Okay, and also the most important part of this reason is that for the safety, for the stability of the cargo inside this container. Okay, alright. So yes, it is also for a seamless, for a smooth transfer, okay, from uh, a different type of vehicles. Or, for example, this one uh, is unloaded or was unloaded from the ship to uh, the crane unloaded this containers from the ship and then they will load it here in a truck, right? And then this truck will transport this one to other manufacturers or sometimes they will load this containers to trains, okay? Yeah. So in order for these containers to have a smooth or a seamless transport or transfer of the materials or the goods. Alright? That's one reason why they are of the same sizes. Alright? Now, here, uh, aside from having a seamless or a smooth transfer, it's also cheaper. Alright? It's also reason that this is not just a ship, okay? This is also a global enabler, okay? So what do we mean by global enabler? Okay, now it means that something that makes the cargo possible, all right, to happen or be done on a worldwide scale. Okay, this is not just merely a ship, okay, the container. It is also a global enabler. Okay, so again, what do we mean by global enabler? It means that something or the the things or the cargo inside makes it possible for the thing to happen or be done in a worldwide scale. Alright, you can transport all the the materials or the cargo inside worldwide. Okay, so yeah, basically the purpose of a container vessel, number one, mentioned earlier, is the global goods transport. Yes, you or the carrier, the container vessel can transport wide case for the raw materials or for the cargo inside across many countries, okay, across ocean, yes, or any port worldwide. Okay, that's one purpose of a container vessel. Alright? So, next purpose of this is the supporting global supply chain. Alright? These are important. Okay, remember that everyone that this container vessel are very important also for the factory, okay, for the manufacturers, okay, in order for them to receive, okay, the part. And like for example, if they will load cargoes of different parts of a motorcycle, all right, or the different parts of parts. They will receive it, the factories or the manufacturers will receive it, and then in order for them to finish the product they are making, and the consumer transatlantic, and the Trans-Pacific Ocean, or and also Indian Ocean. So those are the major shipping routes. Okay. Now let's discuss it one by one. Okay. So the parts of a container vessel, one is the hull. Okay. Hull. Alright. And then the second one is the deck. Okay. Then the third one is the superstructure. Superstructure. That's the third part of a container vessel. Okay. So yes, this is the hull. This part. Okay. And the deck. Here. This is the deck. And this is the suprastructure. This part, this whole thing is the suprastructure. Deck and the hull. Okay. We will discuss this one by one. What is their purpose? What is their function? Okay. Why they are called hull, why they are called deck, and why they are called suprastructure. Alright, so here, for number one, okay, this is the hull, this one, okay? This is the top surface or the external part of the ship side, the outside part. Basically, this is the foundation. Without this, there will be no body of the ship, right? Okay, so this is the hull, the body, cargo hold. It's below deck storage also. This one. Alright. So that's large compartment. Okay. Designated to hold the containers. But there's one more very important part of the deck is the cell guide. This one. Okay? To keep the containers or the knife. Right? Okay. So these are all metal framework. The railings of it. Why? To keep the containers also secured, preventing them from moving. Alright. So for the navigation and crew areas, alright, we have the bridge. Of course, everyone knows this one, the bridge. This is the navigation center. This is the control center. Okay. This one is the bridge, the navigation or the control center. And this one is also the bridge. And this is the outside, the external part of the bridge. Yes, like us, we have our brain, right? For the human. For the vessel, this one is called the ship brain. Okay, the bridge. Why? Because almost all uh of the what you call this, all the mechanism or the computers, the radars, alright, the radio, everything is in here. Okay. In order for the vessel to run smoothly. Okay. It is placed here. Alright? That's why it's called the ship brain. The command center. Yes, it is located up high here. Why? Because whenever you are here in the bridge, you can see everything. Okay? Here. By the help of all this equipment. And of course, the help of the crew. Alright? So, basically, the master or whoever is on duty is here. Okay? That's why it is called the brain, the ship's brain, the command center. Alright? So, also, in the bridge or in on this part, okay, accommodation is also situated there. Accommodation. Accommodation. This is what we call the crew living area. Okay? So this is basically our home at sea. Okay, our house. have our room, our bed, right? We have our dining area where we eat. So, same as for the vessels, they also have their dining hall, okay? But since they cannot go out, they also have recreational areas. But unlike us, we have can go to the gym, right? We can exercise just outside the village. Okay? So this is the accommodation area or the crew living area. Alright. So also this the third part is the superstructure. Okay. This is the building on deck, like our house, right? The ship building, the superstructure. This one, the superstructure. All these parts. Okay? Now, this is the ship building. Now, a part of the ship is built above the main deck. A part of this is built above the main deck because this is the deck part, right? And then this one, the superstructure, typically housing the bridge or simply the bridge is here in the superstructure. As I mentioned earlier, you can see here the bridge, all these windows here are the accommodation part, and below this is the engine part. Okay? So basically, this is the ship building. Alright. The superstructure. Okay. Like in our house, we have also rooms. We have our toilet. We have our kitchen part. Okay, we have our garage. So in the vessel, it is called superstructure. The ship built. Alright? So yes, this one is the superstructure, the larger part. Okay, the larger image. So this is the superstructure. Yes. Okay. Below that, below And for the winches, they strong also to secure whenever you dock. Okay? So next is the mast, wherein the light and antenna and the flags are placed. This one is the mast. This one. Okay? This is a tall, yeah, this one, upright structure on the ship. Okay. What is the purpose of this? It holds navigation light. Okay, the light. And also this one, the radar. And also antenna, this one, and the flag. Okay? This one, wait, this one, okay? I'm I'm sure everyone already saw this because the flags normally are placed here or hold the antennas, the lights, and the radar here. And the fourth auxiliary equipment is the funnel or the smoke stack. Again, the funnel or the smoke stack. Exhaust. Okay? This is the exhaust. This one is the funnel. Can you see the black smoke coming out from this? Or basically, it it is called the chimney like structure. Alright? The portion of the vessel wherein there's a smoke that comes out, alright? That is what we call the funnel or the smoke stack, the exhaust. Okay? Gases from the engine, alright? Here, it's released in here. Okay? This is like I don't know what we call it in same with our car, right? I don't know what it's called, but this is just the same since our car has engine also. So the gas coming out from here, okay, from the engine, and this portion called funnel or smoke stack or an exhaust. Okay? Oh yeah. So let's have a short a short recap about containers. Okay? So containers are not just a ship. Okay? It is also it plays also a big part worldwide. Okay? Because it carries or it transports raw materials from one place to another using these black these metal boxes called containers. Okay? So this is very important in our daily life, really. Okay? Because it transports, as I said, raw materials. Okay? Now, cargo boxes. Okay? Standardized. Why standardized? Should be of the same sizes, should be uniform in size, it should be made of a metal boxes or a steel boxes, and that is why it is called standardized cargo boxes. Okay. So next, hmm, what are the standardized metal boxes called that container vessels carry? Oh, you just mentioned it, right? So what are those standardized metal boxes? The answer is already there. Okay. Yes, of course, it's called containers, right? The answer is already here. Yeah. Standardized metal boxes called containers. Okay. Now, next. So, which part of the container vessel is the main body that floats in the water? Hmm, main body. So, what is it? Is it the bridge? Hmm. Is it the funnel? Hmm. Is it the hull? Or the propeller? Uh-huh. So, what is the correct answer for this? Yes, it's the hull. Because that is the main body. That is the top surface, the external part. Remember? Yes, it plays an important role, okay, in the part of the vessel. Alright. So, the fourth question, okay. It says here that where are some containers physically stuck? On the very top open surface of the ship. Oh, I mentioned that earlier. The containers where or what part that the container physically stuck on the very top portion and it's an open surface of the ship. Is it A, in the engine room, B, on the deck, C, inside the rudder, and D, next to the anchor? So, what do you think, everyone? The containers are stuck physically where? Yes, it's on the deck, right? It's on the deck. The top surface, the top open surface where the containers are stuck. Okay, so next. So what are the special vertical refrain it from moving. Okay? And the funnel where in the gas, right? Or it starts with the chimney. Okay? Where in the gas emits. Okay. So this large rotating part, okay, at the back of the ship that pushes the ship forward is the propeller. Alright? So what cargo or what are the large lids that cover the cargo hold and protect the cargo? So what is that big, large hold? Is it A, the deck plate? Okay. Is it B, the hatch cover? And C, the twist lock? And D, the rope? So everyone, what do you think is that large or it's the window of our house? What is that called? It's hatch cover. Okay? These hatch covers are watertight. Okay? There should be no water that comes in. Okay? That's why it's watertight. This is the large lid cover. Okay? Alright. So when containers are stuck on the deck of the ship, what is that special devices that help secure them together? Oh, yes. What is that device? All the container, and then this is situated in the cargo hold, inside the cargo hold. That vertical guide. What is that called? A, cell guide. B, unit crane. This one is the crane. It's situated inside the deck or the cargo hold, right? Alright. So twist lock and the rudders or rudders. So what is that part, that special device that helps the containers secure them together? Is the twist lock. Okay? The twist lock. That's why it's called lock. It helps secure the containers. Okay? Now, for number 7, what is the main purpose of the accommodation? Okay? What is the main purpose of accommodation area? A, is it used to store extra fuel? B, to house the ship engine? C, to provide living quarters for the crew? And D, to hold emergency equipment. So, as I said earlier in our discussion, accommodation is the living quarters for the crew, wherein there is, wherein the cabin What unit is commonly used to measure is the capacity of a container vessel. Normally, one unit, like for the valve, use a register, gross register tonnage. Okay? But for the container, what do you think is the unit that is commonly used to measure the capacity? Is it A, drop, G, beam, C, it's CEU, or 20 foot equivalent unit, and or is it GRT, or the gross register tonnage? Alright. So what is used? What unit commonly used to measure the capacity? Is the letter C. Okay, it's letter C. It's 20 foot equivalent unit. Measure the capacity. But for the heaviness, in order for us to measure how heavy is the GR, the gross registered tonnage. Alright. So for number 4, there are containers typically stored on a container vessel. Where? Is it A, below deck in hold? pieces of equipment due to their simple design or a port equipped with gantry crane and dedicated container terminals and or only in groundwater, containers are unstable to ground in. So I think you know the answer for this. What is that? What kind of port equipment is that? Very important to make the the cargo handling more efficient or more or to run it fast to conserve time. What is that port equipment? It's the crane, of course. So at port, it should be equipped with gantry crane, okay? And which is dedicated for that container terminal, okay? Basically, it's the crane. The port crane is the most important, the essential to put the handling of the container faster, okay? All right. So next, for number five, all right. So why are containers often stuck both below and above the deck on a container vessel? Why? What is the main reason why the containers are often stuck below, all right, and above the deck? Okay. So is it A, to allow for quicker loading and unloading of non-standardized cargo, or B, to maximize the use of space and improve stability during transit, and C, to reduce the overall speed of the vessel for safety reasons, or D, to make the vessel more aesthetically pleasing. So what do you think, everyone, is the main reason why the containers are all often stuck both below and above? What I said earlier is important. It's to maximize, all right, the use of space. And not only that, to improve the stability during transit. Okay? That is the main reason why it should be, or the containers should be stuck both below and above. Okay? For stability and to maximize the use of space. Alright? So, valuable items inside. Okay? Does it provide better protection against theft, hmm, and damage due to sealed units? Or D, it makes cargo susceptible to water damage, huh? Or it requires less packaging for individuals. So, what is that uh, uh, reason beyond transport efficiency? Okay, make it fast, the transport of it. All right, what is the reason? Okay, it shows that it provides better protection is against theft and damage due to field yes. So basically, containers is protected against theft. Really, it's protected because this one is sealed. Okay, and theft, yes, cargo damage and lost cargo are less uh, happen here in this type of container, okay, of this way of transporting your cargo. All right. So for number 10, okay, what system allows for tracking a container's journey from origin to destination? So how are the cargo or these containers tracked, or how can they monitor? Okay, from the origin to the next port. All right, is it A, the GPS only? B, is it the bill of lading and electronic data interchange system? C, is it the manual logbook at each port? And D, only the ship's crew knows its location. So, how are you going to track or to how are you going to uh, track the container's journey from origin to destination? Yes, through the bill of lading and electronic data interchange system. Okay, not the GPS, not the manual logbook of each port, and of course not the ship's crew only. No. Alright, but the number one way to track or the system is the bill of lading and electronic interchange system. Okay, so next, so the indispensable role of container vessels in global trade. Alright, so in conclusion, the container vessels are marvels of maritime engineering and logistical innovation. It's like a word for them. Okay, in the maritime world, yeah, the container vessel, because it transports from one port to another. Actually, all the cargo vessels. All right. So they have been continued to be absolutely fundamental. Yes, yes. day 2, I will try